Yes.
So cool, man. It's so cool.
Rock and roll!
I love it.
The most rocking Pokemon theme song ever.
It is so cool, man.
And check out that wind.
Oh, man. It's so cool. I love it, man.
The wind was just making my tie fly up. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, my gosh. That song. Jason, welcome to Color World Live, my dude. How are you?
Very good. Glad to be here. Color World, man. You're very colorful. I love it.
Oh,
Me
for
too.
Sure.
I'm colored up.
Yes.
I'm colored up for you.
And I appreciate that because we're definitely going to get into why you're wearing what you're wearing. We're huge Pokemon people over at Color World. We started life out on tour in an RV. We did a Kickstarter. We raised $20,000 to illustrate Rachel's book series Color World and tell the world about it. And we ended up in an RV with our 4 kids traveling around. Yeah. Living the dream, traveling, living full time for a year and a half. We lived in an RV with 4 kids. It was the craziest experience.
That's incredible. That's great. Children are the primary vitamin of the human experience, so you must be incredibly nourished by having 4 of them.
Well, we have 5 now. now. So
can I get one?
I mean, for like $1 billion,
I give you 20 an hour.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely. Yes, almost every one of my kids. I probably can promise every single one of them can work. It just depends what you want them for. But dude,
no, I'm paying you. I'm paying you 20 an hour.
Oh, you got to pay them, man.
So that I'll pay them, so that I can actually experience the joy and incredibleness of children in a close-up way without having to have the full total responsibility that you have.
You definitely can give them back, for 20 an hour. But like if you need stuff like mailing, shipping out. Yeah. Oh, dude.
No, that's labor. It's child labor. They're teaching me what to do. I don't put them through the labor process. And I just romp through the playgrounds and climb trees and have the real childhood wonder and fun of a kid.
You might as well have the 9-year-old then, because she would love to go for $20 an hour. She would love. She would absolutely. Okay.
There's so many people deprived of children. So thank you for having those. And
Well, we kind of to be flat out honest, we looked around a bit. We're like, I think we need a chance. We need a fighting chance. We're gonna make more of these people because I get it. It is a huge responsibility, and for those people who choose not to because of the I get it. But then we're like, it's up to us. It's like a Spider-Man thing, right? With great power comes great responsibility, and we're like,
you're preserving your own genetic superiority. You're preserving the race. You're continuing the lineage of Color World.
Oh, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. One of them, I asked him point blank the other day. I was like, literally, what do you want to do with your life? And he was like, I want to work with you. Which was that was a really cool. We're very big on freedom in our family. Like, you got to be free to choose, man. I can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't do it.
It's a human being. This is. You may have made this child, but he is not yours to own. You have to support him in what he wants to do.
Yes, totally. And so
self-directed. Yeah.
He was like, "No, I'm being serious, Dad. I want to." Speaking of, like, what? I can't enjoy this for a long time. But come here. This is the one that this is my 11-year-old. This dude. He's been my convention partner. He was homeschooled for a while, and me and him went out on the road, and Eov and I crushed it. Like, he's incredible.
Excellent.
Thank you, Eov. I appreciate you, my dude.
Nice to meet you. Pokemon fans, yeah?
I
imagine.
Yeah. This is the dude who sang the original theme song for Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Yeah, do you want to hear?
Oh, he does not hear me. Here it is. Hello. You know what it is? Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all. This is my destiny.
Yes.
Pokemon. Oh, a real test. No one ever.
I gotta show you this rock he did. We opened up the show with it. It's sick. All right. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you.
You want an eggnog shake?
Not right now, but I will.
I'll take one.
I know, right? I love eggnog. I love this time of year. Do you like this time of year?
I am in New York for this time of the year for the first time in a long time. I don't like the cold, but I like the spirit. You know, the giving spirit is nice. I don't like the myth of Santa Claus telling kids what to do so that they can get gifts from some imaginary dude in the sky. But you know,
so we actually made a choice years ago. We're like, no, I'm taking credit. Like, I'm not giving some fat white guy credit. This is my hard work.
Yeah.
The stuff under this tree. Yeah, that's 100 hours a week right there. That's not
You're Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm mother Santa. Like, yeah. So we don't like lying. I'm really uncomfortable with, and I don't care if it's 9 or 19. Like, it's not a cool way to go. It doesn't build trust.
That's exactly it.
There's that moment where everybody realizes like none of this was true. That's not a cool moment. Yeah.
One of the excuses I hear parents give is they want to preserve the sense of wonder and imagination in the child. It's by creating this complete illusion that has nothing to do with reality. They're creating wonder. But children have so much wonder and magic and illusion in their lives already. You don't need to create and invent more of it. You just need to support them in their own imaginary worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rachel writes a fiction series called Color World. It's very real, like, meaning people buy it, right? She signs copy. You know, like, you can participate in the awe and the wonder, but in an authentic way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, good on you, bro. You're homeschooling. You're doing it all right.
Oh, well, we don't have a choice for homeschooling these days, right?
At this point, one of the benefits, I think, at least parents that can handle the responsibility and have the bandwidth, they get to be closer to that primary vitamin, as I said.
Yeah.
That makes you a better person and makes them better, because you're sending them off to school with strangers whose names you don't even know, whose histories you don't even know, or teaching things that they can't even control. It's just, now you're in the driver's seat, which is great, especially if it's an RV, because somebody has to drive.
But I know. Thank heavens that at this stage of the game. So we did a year and a half of that, and then we went to North Carolina, and moved back into that house in North Carolina so many times. It was like 3 or 4 times, and then the zombie apocalypse hit, and we had to say goodbye. It was our backup plan the whole time, and so we executed on the backup plan, and now we live in the Midwest and in the middle of a bunch of states, and it's been a crazy year. So speaking of crazy, though, you got it. So first of all, Jason, did you just come out singing? Have you always been a singer? How did you get into singing in the early days?
Well, you first come out and you go.
Yeah, that's pretty right on.
It really is just you're singing one note, and then it kind of goes. It's just notes we're always singing. 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 Anything that you speak, if you break it down, it becomes music. So we're just musical beings vibrating on pitch and time anyway. It's been chopped off into the Western scale and standard rhythm by educators and music educators, which I submitted myself to from high school on. Where I went to the fame. I want to live forever. I want to learn how to fly. Hey.
Oh yes.
Where they taught me, a California band, very stiff Italian, French, German arias that most everybody in the whole school hated. But we learned the technique, we learned the craft, we learned the stuff. And outside of school, I expressed myself. I did my own thing. I started my own bands. I wrote my own music. I expanded into my own imitations of, not what they wanted, but what I enjoyed, which was, you know, all of the rock gods that I was praying to, like, you know, Tommy used to work at the docks, Union's middle strike, get down on his luckiest tough. You know, Bon Jovi and, you know, all Queen and Styx and, you know. Yeah, exactly. So getting out of the structure into my own structure was where I kind of got, you know, my broader range of experience. And then when the band sort of long hair thing kind of went south after numbers of record deals, as most bands, 99.9% of the band's record deals are just, you know, a complete nonsense. But I started doing jingles and creating jingles, and that's pretty much what's all over the shirt, are different imitations of different things from different jobs where I had to imitate certain singers in order to get the job. So I learned how to imitate and become a mimic and a vocal acrobat to satisfy whatever the client wants. And that kind of really broadened my vocal horizon.
Okay, so now, did you hate 100% of the French and the like? Are you? Do you ever go to midnight mass?
Oh no! See, now I understand it now. I really appreciate it now. Matter of fact, on my YouTube channel, I just posted one of the art songs that I learned. Du bist wie eine Blume. Du bist wie eine Blume, so hold und schön und rein. Really interesting, beautiful German songs, but I didn't love them until I could choose them. Anything forced on me in the compulsory system is just instinctively rejected. So, you know, but now I get it, and I love the mass that happens in these incredible anointed spaces, cathedrals. I do a yearly Beatles gospel nativity that we take the Beatles music, we make a gospel, we take the nativity story and we thread the Beatles music to tell it, and we did it in St. John's in LA, in this incredible, beautiful cathedral that just massive, beautiful experience. Every year we're in our 12th year. But yeah, I love so now I can appreciate things, but by choice, not by force.
Okay, so is that coming up this year then? Are you going to be doing that this year?
The regulations are not going to let us do it this year, so we're going to have to do it in a different way, and we're not quite sure what that's going to be. Well, yeah, but there are certain regulations to that. We have to sort of work out the rights, because we get the rights to do it in that one space for that one show, and now a stream has got to be on a private network, and then some other different things apply. But that's actually what we're looking to do. But we're not going to stream. We're not going to stream live. We're going to stream what we've done in the past years, which has been already captured. So
well,
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, if you need help with any of that stuff, we didn't know anything when the year started, but by golly, did we have to learn.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Gosh, that's incredible. I kind of the same thing. I grew up in the Catholic and Episcopal faiths. My dad was a Catholic, my mom was Episcopalian. Anybody that knows religion knows that should never have happened. Right.
They fought. You grew up in a fighting household.
It's
I'm just kidding.
It's like the original split. Like literally the Church of England is the first anyway. So
we need that balance. You need the balance to find a healthy perspective on
in the middle.
On the imaginary God up above.
I ended up a Mormon. So I'm both my parents are what? Okay, well.
But you went crazier than both of them. That's perfect. Them.
So we return every single year with our family to midnight mass. It's become a family tradition. I loved it in the times that I've had Christmas at various locations, depending on where my mom was a travel nurse or where my brother was, or we always found the place to go to. And it's been, despite living in 13 states in the last 25 years, it's been the thing that all my kids can count on, Rachel can count on. Like, it's just a cool holiday tradition. So I love that you made it, like, you just super made it your own. Like,
you wouldn't believe how well the Beatles lyrics tell the story of the nativity. It goes exactly with the songs. You don't need anything else in it, and you think they wrote it that way, but it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
That's so cool. So jingles, what came first, the commercial stuff and the jingles, or all of the people you ended up on stage with? Did it like, what was the first thing out of college that you ended up doing?
Well, the band situation was the first thing even pre-college.
Okay.
And that was Imago Records, and that was Paul Stanley from Kiss was producing my band for a little while.
Sweet.
And then I got hooked up with some other rock and roll people, and eventually our record deal was produced by Bernard Edwards of Chic. We are family. Doom, 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 doom. The bass player of Chic. He produced a whole bunch of great records. But then straight out of college was the jingle situation, and it kind of went hand in hand with my live appearances as well. As I was doing the jingles and starting to make my way into that world, I was also making my way into the background singing world and partnering with, different artists.
Who was your first backup gig that you sang background for?
I think the first gig was Mark Shaman's Aged Ham. That was like the big one. Mark Shaman is the guy who wrote Hairspray, Broadway musical. And actually the guy who brought me into that was Billy Porter, who is a giant celebrity at this point. He's a huge guy right now, but I sang backgrounds with him as well. And then that sort of background led to being part of a gospel choir that led me into doing all these gigs at Madison Square Garden for all the radio artists that would come through Madison Square Garden on the Christmas Jingle Ball circuit. Yeah. And then that led to Michael Jackson. And at the same time, recording also puts me in the room with different people and producers that use me for Meatloaf and Foreigner and the Scorpions and Enrique Iglesias and all of the other, sort of name brands like that that are on my shirt.
Right. And so that was it's a perfect lead into so everything on your shirt is something you've been associated with, right? Every single one of them is a project that you've done, that you've worked on, that you've been on stage with.
Yes, exactly.
That's
except and myself. So you can
show that off. That's so dope,
I don't know if I'm flipped around the other way. If it's backwards, you can't read them.
Oh, it's awesome. It looks sick.
But I wrote the Lego Mania theme song.
Yeah.
Lego Mania, brand new toys to make you shiver. Your heart races, your feet tap. It's enough to make you quiver. It's enough to make you snap. Lego Mania.
That's so awesome.
Things like that are just kind of unknowns. Everybody's all focused on the Pokemon situation, which obviously they should be. But Lego they have stores in every mall now, so they're
huge.
They're pretty huge at this point, and I think they even have some Lego Pokemon stuff where they made it for a minute there, or you got like think outside the bun, little Taco Bell stuff, or Subway eat fresh.
That's
or
so
right here we got you make me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. Oh, so very happy, baby. Blood, Sweat, and Tears was a live gig that I got.
Yeah.
And I actually I had one rehearsal and showed up in Germany at the gig and sang 15 songs as a lead singer fronting for this band. It was an incredible experience. One of the best live bands I've ever.
How long did you get to be the lead singer for?
I was lead singer for about a year, a little more than a year. And I was riling the audience up. And of course, the audience is between 60 and 90 years old. So I had a little too much energy for them.
Get them crazy. Yeah, get them crazy.
I was getting them up. They were dancing. They were like, you got to be careful. These people might keel over. This is the vulnerable population we were talking about before.
Yes. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's one of them.
Is it... is music just music? Like you went from like Enrique Iglesias, some pretty rock and roll, Meatloaf. Like, is there different cultures being around there? Is music just like, what's it like going from...
microphone is a microphone. The microphone has no cultural bias to it.
Oh, I love it.
It's just and really, it's more about the intention, and obviously once you get it into the recorded environment, you manipulate it in whatever way it needs to happen. But most of these these environments are just studios, you know, it's just a studio. There's no, it's not a hip hop studio or a rock studio. It's just a studio. Just, there's a microphone. But when I do my imitations, I am just, you know, I A/B to the original, and I try to isolate the vocal and get it exactly like it is. And then I try to mix it so that it sounds like it is, and mic model it so that, you know, it sounds like Al Green on an old, you know, an old Neumann microphone with this kind of slap reverb. And then they go, you got anything that sound like Al Green? I'm like, yep, here you go. So, you know, it's
that's cool.
It's interesting.
Now, do you do a bunch of stuff behind the microphone in terms of like sound engineering? And you mentioned writing. Are you writing lyrics? Are you writing music? Are you doing both? Tell me about.
Yeah, when I do it, when I have messages and I have things to get done. Obviously, when I do a vocal session, I can engineer the whole session. I can do it on my own now, on my own rig, which I can actually do now in my phone, which is incredible. But you know, producing a session, a multi-track session, and on a Pro Tools rig, and then of course, if I have something that I'm passionate about, I can write, perform, produce, and play the whole thing on my own, as I did with a numbers of these Pokemon parodies that I've been putting out, which I thought might be the best way to get out a message is to use the song that everybody knows, but re-record it in my own way with my own lyrics. So I did the Bitcoin, gotta cash 'em all, Bitcoin Pokemon parody, and just recently, the last one I did was COVID-19, gotta trace 'em all. About the tracing, the contact tracing. That was back in April, but right now, all of the stuff that I was bringing up in the video that seemed really absurd at the time is all starting to get rolled out. Correct. So that video is so yeah, I can write, I produce, and you know, I have numbers of my own recordings as well that I've written and produced.
Now, what's your favorite part of the process, or do you just really love that you don't have to pick?
Well, you know, it's really just the execution of the vocals, because after that, I'm in a computer setting. I'm just clicking around.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's just clicking. It's just clicking. I'm interacting with you, and we're live. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're improvising everything that's happening right now.
Yep.
We can't go back and fix. I mean, I guess you can. This is live. You can't go back and fix this.
Right.
With a recording situation, you're just analyzing and you're fixing and you're changing and you're shifting. And there's something about that is not as satisfying as being completely in the moment, being right here, right now, not trying to replicate or control and contrive something. So, but I can do the contrivances. I can control it. I can make something sound like something, and I can go back and we can re-edit this video and take out all the things I don't want. But it's the moment that I'm more excited by.
So then do you get a chance to be live? Like where do you perform? Like what does your life look like?
Right.
And I guess what does life look like in 2019? And then what have you done in 2020 to try to get back in front of people?
Right. Well, my life last year was rife with theater. So I was in the room with people doing incredible theater, the Beatles Gospel Nativity, other new musicals. I'm part of a group called For the Record, and they do live movies presented live with the soundtracks presented live. So I have a lot of contact in my Los Angeles community with people being live. And since that's all gone right now, I have moved into the Pokemon card collecting community and online cons. I've been trying to get involved in some of these online Comic Cons, and there's just so few. Thank you for doing this. But I've only done one other one, and it's just not getting as many opportunities to do this. So I've sought out my own way to do it.
Yeah.
And what I do is I go into the Pokemon card collecting group, which is a group of anywhere from 1,000 to 15,000 people in a private group.
Yeah.
And then I will do a live performance, a live stream in that group. And then I got, you know, cards that I'm signing in there. I'll sign the cards on video for the people and then send it to them. So I'm actually recreating everything that happens in a Comic-Con.
Good.
But on my own with products, and then I send them to my website for other products, but I actually get to perform, sing songs, answer questions, and sign autographs. And I'll do a thing where I'll do a little, a screenshot like that. I just did a screenshot of us, and then I'll sign the screenshot right there. So now I got a picture of us that I've got autographed screenshot.
That's cool, man.
It's just so many cool things that can happen.
Now, do you do any improv at all? You seem like a guy that if you got up on stage, have you done improv games before?
Yes, that's another thing that happens on the Pokemon card collectors. They have these pack openings. Everybody wants to have the pack opening.
Yep.
Well, I did a musical pack opening.
Okay.
In which I got somebody just jamming out behind me, and I'm opening the packs, trying to find the best card, getting the best card, counting it down till I get to the card for the person musically, and then I sign the card. But the whole thing was like a 2-hour musical improv, and they purchase the packs, they get their card signed on video with their name sung. It's just it's gotta catch 'em all, Jonathan. Weird. Oh, there you go.
Yep, we had somebody in chat that was asking about the website, so we're gonna go ahead and drop that link in chat for everybody. Check. We're gonna drive some traffic to the website. Check.
Yes, I just before this, a few minutes ago, before we actually got on, I released the Jason Paige gold card, which is a gold medal.
Oh, that's cool.
Gold medal card.
Yeah, that's
and it's
cool.
1 out of 100 of these things.
That's
and
dope.
I signed the back. The front is autographed, engraved, but kind of an interesting thing because these card collectors, they're
it's a cool community.
It's a whole community. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Now, do you play Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or no?
I play Pokemon Go. I have, and I've tried to understand the Pokemon card game, but I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Well, before we sign off, I'm pretty sure I have one friend spot left. If you are into, are you level 40?
I'm not level 40 yet. I'm more like level 28, 29, I think.
Okay.
I got to be up level 40 to be your friend on Pokemon Go. Is that what happens?
No, I'll friend you. I have one spot. I will. If you want that one last, you can only have 200 friends.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who decided that, but man, that's cool. Okay, what's your favorite type? What's your favorite type of Pokemon?
I like the water. I'm a water guy.
Are you really? Who's your favorite?
I'm liking Squirtle now, just recently.
Really? Just the starter? Not even Blastoise? Just straight up Squirtle?
I'm just getting into the other ones, Wartortle and Blastoise. I got a couple other ones here. I'm looking at the old ones, at the old vintage cards, and I got a couple of those on my website. But yeah, there it is.
I love Melodic's. We have Anaris on tomorrow, and she is Nessa in Pokemon Twilight, and I friggin' love. Do you trade? Do you trade on Pokemon Go yet?
I have not done that.
Okay, so this screen is what's called a lucky Pokemon. When you trying to think, it's my son. Okay, so in New York City, we caught these Phoebus and we swapped them, and then you get a chance to go lucky, and it gives you. Let me show you. So that's the normal background to a Milotic, just a bunch of water bubbles. But if you can get it to go lucky, then you get this gold screen, and it cuts the cost to power it up in half. So
nice.
So trading is what I spend like all my time. I have thousands of Gyarados is a big
wow.
I run an all Gyarados team because Gyarados, you can have a dark type Gyarados, a water type Gyarados, and a dragon type Gyarados. And nobody really expects the same Pokemon with such a diverse. And so I'll run a 3 Gyarados team. And people are like, "Oh, I was only prepared for one of your one of your 3." But yeah,
everybody does it a different way. Individuals doing it their own way. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Each one is unique. Each trainer's unique.
That's a cool.
Oh yeah.
If you're into water, Empoleon is Piplup's full evolution. It's a water steel type. Man, if you love water types, Oshawott full evolution is like a ninja. Yeah. Oh man, that's cool.
Say, just keep going. You can't catch them all. They're just too many. You gotta go. The world is too big.
I honestly, it's one of those things that there's sometimes like Transformers got rough. I don't know if you are a Transformers guy at all, but the first movies were really good. In fact, Transformers 1, I think is probably one of the greatest movies ever made. And then, man, by the time you got to the third or fourth one, I was like, I'm only going because my son wants to see that. You know what I mean? They just whereas with Pokemon, I feel like there's just such a love for.
Yeah, there's also more people creating Pokemon things outside of the main company. You're basically one of them. You're doing all this stuff outside of what they're doing.
Yeah.
To give you product to create other value in the ecosystem, and that's where the real value is. Transformers is a good example. Well, the only thing I know of Transformers is the Universal Studios ride, which was absolutely out of control. But once again, it's not Transformers creating it; it's Universal creating it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing here. I'm creating my own Pokemon value for people.
Yeah.
Outside of the ecosystem. And that's where the real fun is. That's where the card collecting groups, the art, the costumes, the Comic-Cons, the video, the websites and the different products people are creating.
Yeah.
The YouTube channels.
Oh,
it just
man.
goes on and on.
Will you bring me Mega Gengar? Mega Gengar. Nope. To your right. Reach out your right hand. Just trust. There you go. This is, speaking of things that we have created outside, is when the world became a crazy place, we were like, well, what can we use our equipment for? And so we repurposed the equipment that's hiding behind this wall of metal for masks. And so
the Mega Gengar, the Gengar.
Yeah. So we took is Ghost Graveyard? No, I'm out of it. we keep selling it. We have one that we call Ghost Graveyard, where it's everything from Ghastly all the way to Mega Gengar. But we just people keep hitting our Etsy, which we're very, very grateful for. It's kept our family fed during this pandemic. And so that Mega Gengar is brand new. It's a pretty dope stuff.
That's great.
So like when you are back up, are you out on tour? Do you just go out for a few gigs? Like, how do you contract? Like, how do you get behind? Like, you were on stage with Michael Jackson. Yeah. You did back up for Michael Jackson at one point.
Yes, I did. It was 2 shows for his 30th anniversary Jackson special. And that was from a band, the Michael Jackson house band that I was performing with before. I mean, the band that was doing the Jingle Ball band was basically the same musical director. I get called for gigs like that by different musical directors and different people, but the Pokemon gigs happen from Comic-Cons that contact me around the world, or that I contact or have expressed interest in. Besides that, I'm doing session work. I'm doing things from my own home studio, and in a normal reality, I'm committing myself to a good amount of theater every year.
Man, so are you performing? Are you just doing the music part of it? Like, what's your life in the theater world?
The theater world, I'm usually the primary character, the leader. In the Beatles Gospel Nativity, I am the main character. I'm the arranger. I'm the producer. And I have one partner that does it, who runs the Open Fist Theater Company. That is the umbrella organization that we do it under. It's a 60-person gospel choir. Woo! So that's my community of singers that come together, and then like another 15 to 20 principal people. So it's like a 80-person event altogether. And the other theatrical things are usually something I'm performing in as a lead. I'm singing and acting in as well. But yeah, it's the sweet spot is on the stage in the moment in front of the audience. I love it. Which happens with Pokemon every now and then, but on a more regular basis with the theatrical experiences in LA.
Do you have a theater degree, or did you get a music specific degree? Like, what are your degrees in?
Well, I went to NYU for acting and jazz voice.
Sweet.
So I kind of have a little half of each one. Neither one requires a degree, and I wasn't about to spend another 3 years in either one to get that degree. I think but I have looked into getting an honorary degree from them, and I got to be submitted by one of the faculty members and nominated to get it. But I think my accomplishments in the world might warrant that at some point. But yeah, jazz voice. I studied jazz voice, which was just basically learning 100 jazz songs from a teacher that wasn't even in NYU. But the acting part was a very intense, rolling around on the ground, experiencing your emotions, really developing a self-knowledge that you can then bring on the stage. But the real degree is in being out there in the world, doing 1,000 different things. Right. It's the life degree. School just happened to be, luckily located in New York City, so I could get my life degree at the same time I was having some educational all the education happens outside.
Now, tell me you love the city. Tell me you just love New York City.
I'm loving it now more than I have in a long time. 15 years ago, I went to LA. After 2004, I think it was, beginning 2004. And I haven't been back to New York City for this length of time. Each time I come back from LA, it becomes a little bit more frenetic and cold and distant and unpleasant for me. But this time I came back and there was nobody here. I came back in April and I was like, whoa, it's like the 80s here. The streets were empty. We got bike lanes and now little, motorized city bikes to ride around. So the intensity of New York was not so high, and it really appealed to me. And I've been here for about 7 months, because LA is now the opposite of New York. LA is less free than New York is, so I'm trying to keep myself in a place where I can have a little more freedom to roam around, and have a little more autonomy. Whereas in LA, you're trapped in your car, and it's a little bit of a different reality. There's not as many outdoor spaces to just be. New York, we got Central Park and Riverside Park. They're right there. And like I said, it's less crowded here, so it's that's really a benefit to me.
That's interesting. I mean, I lived in Pomona for 5 years. It's the last city in LA County. Fun fact: Disney actually looked at Pomona for Disney World and then opted for Anaheim. I could see why. Pomona.
Yeah, well, everybody's down there in Anaheim now. It's just a whole mess of parks.
Orange is there's a lot of money down. Man, is that 405 or is that 605? Probably both. They probably both head through there, but it might be 50. Oh, it's 57. 57 is what goes down through. What's funny to me in California is everybody puts the word "the" in front of the freeway. They say I take the 210 to the 57 to the I get a little chuckle every time. I used to keep a motorcycle out there in California because I can't stand wasting time, and so my friend had a storage unit for his boat, and he let me keep my motorcycle in there. And so even after we left for the 5 years that we lived there, I would fly back and I would jump on my bike and ride everywhere, and go to places. It's so easy to park.
Some great roads in the LA mountains and the up in Malibu. It's a motorcycle dream up there.
Yep, for sure. And Mount Baldy, if you've ever gotten a chance, is just north of Claremont.
Yep. I've seen it.
Super good. I love that there's mountains on both sides of 10 and 210. It really is I could see the appeal, man. It's
especially coming from New York. I've been in New York my whole life. Well, my whole adult life, and I get to LA and I'm like, the roads, this road, another mountain and another mountain, and just endless amounts of mountains, and I kind of got used to that. And a couple of days ago, I borrowed a friend's car and I drove upstate New York. And I got a little bit of taste of it, but it's like a quarter of the size of the mountains that you got in LA. Yeah. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful leaves that were changing, and I really got a sense of the seasons, which is very important if you want to judge how much time is passing in your life.
I do.
Another year went by. Oh my God. It's been a year. Wow. I know.
I will say that it was sunny California was a bit much for me. Like I remembered when we went back to, it was probably North Carolina, and I was like, it rains here. Thank heavens. It's
right.
The seasons are nice. I like. Yeah.
Time is passing. Time is passing. It's
you can feel it. Like
LA was one big decade that I didn't even know that went by. What, 10 years? When did that happen?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wait, it was a year.
Yeah. You have to live in California to get that, but I totally. Okay, do you have are you a legendary guy at all? Do you like the legendaries? Do you have a favorite legendary?
I'm not a legendary guy.
I'm trying to think if I. So it was a good question, Eva. Let me see. I do love Lugia. I do love Lugia a lot. That is such a great. I might have to go Lugia. Although Darkrai is a mythical. So I mean, technically I could have, but Celebi is my favorite mythical though, above Darkrai.
Yeah, I'm just getting into the whole collecting thing and understanding them all, and then you know their different values and the different holographics and the holofoils and the reverse holofoils, and they're like, you know.
Do you like opening the packs? Are you like, does that excite? Is there something in there?
I'm starting to get to understand it. I have the Jason Paige mystery pack that I'm selling on my website right now.
Do you know what's in there?
Well, yeah, I put it all in there. I made a specific amount, and I repacked, and I put 2 Charizard VMAXs in as the chase cards. Plus, every pack has a you know, a reverse holo or greater. And 1 out of 12 is a GX. 1 out of 4 is something. You know, it says on the pack what it is. Okay. So yeah, creating all this new value for people, because I realized it's like a scratch off card. If you get that really good one, it makes it way worth it. So inside the Jason Paige mystery pack, that value card has got my autograph on it. So not only are you getting the card, but you're getting the autographed card.
That's cool.
And the sticker pack that looks pretty cool as well.
Okay, what's your favorite remake that you've done of the Pokemon theme song?
It's definitely the Jonathan Young version that we started with.
Oh, right? It's so good.
Absolutely. However, there's another one that's really good. Is the Tommy Tallarico Video Games Live Orchestra remake.
Oh, that sounds epic.
And that one got remixed by Fat Mike. What's his name? Fat Mike.
Well, there's Killer Mike.
Oh, No, not Killer Mike.
Oh man, that'd be legendary.
Fat Rat.
Okay.
Fat Rat did a remix of the Tommy Tallarico remix, the Video Games Live remix. So, remix of a remix of a remix.
So how did you get hooked up with Jonathan Young?
He contacted me and he said, hey, I want to do a remix with you. And I said, well, let me check out your stuff. And I checked it out. I was like, wow, this dude's a rock star. This is great. He's going to kill it. He sent me the track and he said, and you know, he was like, I want to do it a little different, little key change. I was like, this is great. So I really had the opportunity to rock out a little bit harder and really take it to another level, which was great.
Oh, man.
Also, he produces really good videos. So
yes,
I know I was in good hands with that collaboration. But yeah,
I do love the video. I think it's great. Is that is the flying tie? Is that your shtick?
It was this picture. You know, I've got my Jason Paige like main photo. This is one of my cards.
Yeah.
And in the photo, it's my tie is flying up. And I was at a Comic-Con, and this was like the second or third Comic-Con I was at. I was like, everybody has a costume on. I didn't even realize that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have a costume. I'm here. I'm sitting in my normal clothing. I got no costume. I looked down at my poster that I was signing, and it was like, you know, me with the Jason Paige shirt that my graphic designer had made. Wasn't a real cut, wasn't something I actually owned. And I was like, that's my costume. Oh my God, it's my costume. So I found a blue shirt and a green marker, and I made I drew the Jason Paige logo on this blue shirt.
Yeah.
And I already had a jacket with a white button down.
Okay.
And I found a tie, grabbed a hanger, and I put the hanger in the tie, and there I was looking exactly like my photo. And that was like, oh, then everybody loved the tie. I would get so many comments on the tie.
That's cool.
So many people are so happy when they see the tie. And I would wear it like in a normal environments all the time. And it just brings so much happiness that I have to do it.
That's cool.
Just because. And so then I started selling it on my website, and with a little instruction manual. Obviously, it's not,
Yeah.
It's a magic trick, but you got to show you how to do it the right way. And it comes with an autograph tie, but it just causes so much happiness with such a stupid, simple idea. So that's what I'm into, just, pushing those buttons in the simplest way, which is kind of what the Pokemon theme song does. It's just a song, but just for me to sing, gotta catch 'em all, just pushes the buttons and everybody goes, oh shit, that's my childhood. It's like, it's a flying tie. It's just a flying tie, but it causes happiness.
It's cool. It's beautiful I think one of the things that I was most excited about when I saw your bio, Andrew approached me and he's like, hey man, what about Jason? And so I pulled it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dude, what has this guy not done? I really feel like you have found a way to do so much in one career. Like, there are people that get to do what they love but they do this thing and it's cool but you've been able to be here and here and here and here and here and I feel like it seems like a full life. Do you feel like it's been
I do. I do feel like it's full. I mean, I keep having to do the things in order for it to maintain its fullness.
Yeah.
And I have been really committing myself to the Pokemon community because there's so much value to be created in that ecosystem.
Yep.
So, and at the same time, there is a danger of me being pigeonholed into that. Like, a lot of these gigs might not have happened if they would said, hey, how about the Pokemon dude? They would be like, oh no, that's not what we want. But like, I have nothing to do with that. My voice is completely different. If Blood, Sweat, and Tears would have looked at my Pokemon video, they never would have hired me. So it's both. I have to continue to do all the other things as I do. I just did a song for Happy the Humble Heifer video game, which is a crazy horror video game, and that I wrote and produced the vocals for. So I keep doing things for all different other projects as well that will end up on the next shirt. But it's one day at a time. It's one thing at a time, and everything that same commitment that happened with Pokemon. I don't know what's going to happen with all of these other projects. They're in the hands of other people most of the time, and the communities that support them.
Yep.
And you never know which one is going to be the next Legomania.
Yeah, I think if it was just the Pokemon, I probably would have said like, that's cool. Because honestly, I never watched a single episode of the anime.
Wow.
I watched all of Journeys to get ready for this weekend because Megan is back as Nurse Joy. Tara
Sands,
yeah, she is back as Yamper. Like, she's been Bulbasaur forever, but in Journeys she did Yamper. Nessa, they did this whole thing where, like, outside of the series, they did Twilight, and it's really actually beautifully illustrated. They're like 7-minute shorts. They're on the whole season's on YouTube. And I feel like there's so much depth there's a lot of depth in Twilight that's interesting that when I started watching Journeys, I was like, man, this is so geared towards kids. How did all these 40 and 50-year-olds fall in love with Pokemon? And it's the games.
Well, did your parents, well, I don't know how old you are, but a little younger than me, but what 41. I get is I get these 25 to 35-year-olds that have kids now, and their parents were into Pokemon or introduced those kids to Pokemon.
Yeah.
So now we've got 3 generations of people in one family all appreciating the same thing, introducing it to each other. Used to be that you'd have to capture the kids with the advertising. Now you've captured the kids who are now adults who just gave it to their kids. You don't even have to worry about capturing them. It just transferred right through them.
Well,
it's amazing.
It is amazing. It is really interesting. And Tara brought this up yesterday when we were talking about, she brought up the idea of like a kid crying. And there are very many moments throughout. A lot of it comes in movies, to be honest with you. The movies are very powerful. And there's a lot of runway, in 90 minutes, there's a lot of runway. And so you're pretty invested by the time Ash almost dies or a Pokemon almost dies. That it's incredible. I'm interested to see. I would almost love for them to the themes and journeys, Jason. If you get a chance, they're only 7-minute episodes. Anaris is going to be on tomorrow, and she's Nessa. It's great to see. The other thing that really, really jumped out about Journeys is Japanese anime until this year really has been largely white-looking people. Like, I know it's being produced in Japan, but they all look white. They don't have Japanese facial features. They look white. They talk white. They sound white. They're representative. But this is the first year that we've really seen people of color come into Fire Force and come into Pokemon. And so I just love it's Pokemon Journeys. And Twilight is a kid who's like in a hospital. He's like living in a hospital. He's clearly chronically ill. His friend gets well enough to leave the hospital, and he just really wants to have this journey as a Pokemon trainer, and his friends like working behind the scenes to try to make it happen. And then we look at Nessa, who's a fashion model and a gym leader, but she takes on one of the serious full-time Pokemon people. She gets her butt handed to her, and she's like trying to decide, like, can she have a career? Does she have to give up her modeling career to be I mean, awesome.
There's real story. There's real stories there. Yeah. So, and also they give you because the Japanese anime is it's very simple. It's very basic. It allows you to put your imagination into it a little bit more than like a Transformers, where they've got the detail of every single possible thing. You couldn't imagine any more than they've already CGI'd into it. I like that the Pokemon has kept it kind of simple. If they get too complicated with it, it takes some of the agency away from the viewer, I think. It kind of happened a little bit with the movie, with the Detective Pikachu.
Oh, movie. I love that movie. Oh, I'm sad. I honestly, really, I love that. I love Go. There was a time in Pokemon Go when the entire world was out playing all at the same time, and we were meeting hundreds of people every week across America in parks.
Yeah.
Like, police were coming through and sweeping people out at 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. and midnight. I mean, I was like, I remember I was outside one motel room in California, and the guy comes up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm catching a Pokemon. What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm finding out what you're doing." And I'm like, "Okay, well, great. Well, I'm staying here. Why are you here?" And he's like, "Show me your room key." I'm like down there in shorts, catching a Pokemon, no shoes on, and this cop is harassing me at my, like, it was crazy, man. It got to the point, like, I got pretty bold. When it came to police, if I was playing Pokemon Go, I was going to tell them to go out of my life, because it was like, there's real crimes happening here, people, and I'm just sharing a moment with a friend about a digital creature. So if you could just go find somebody that's robbing or looting, it was
unbelievable how much it brought people together. It was just like this thing was inside of the 20 to 30-year-olds that are now adults, just waiting to be. It's like the egg. The egg is just inside of it and finally hatched with Pokemon Go, and they all just came out. And brilliant. There was actually a company selling insurance for Pokemon Go because so many people were getting hit by cars and not looking where they were going and falling into holes and doing all sorts of things.
I'm sure
dangerous because of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Niantic had to deal with at least a few.
Oh yeah.
And the screen, the welcome screen changed, and told like, "Hey, just so you know, you're on your own." Don't.
Well, I'm really grateful to Niantic and Pokemon Go, because I would not be here with you had Pokemon Go not ignited everybody's interest in the song again. And then they started banging the song on Spotify and all the streaming services. And then media said, "Hey, who's this guy whose voice?" Right. But until then, people and still there's really just a very, very small percentage of people who have actually still put it together in their mind and actually go to my website and say, "Oh my God, I'm going to see who sings the song that I've been thinking about my whole life." And, there's got to be 2 billion Pokemon fans, and I've got 10 million views on my my video.
Let's
Another
get
10 to 20 views. You know what I mean? It's like there's still 199 billion out there that have not found me. So thank you for helping them find me right here.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging with me on a Friday night and telling your story. And it's really
you got it, bro. You got it. You got it. Thanks for having me. I'm really, tomorrow's going to something similar is going to happen again.
Yeah, we're going to have Anaris. She is the voice of Nessa. We're going to have Lindsay. She is Aria. I'm almost positive Aria is. So we're going to have another panel tomorrow. I feel like first panel is 1:30 p.m. Pacific and 3:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 Eastern. So people should definitely come and check us out. We're going to leave everybody's page up through the end of, let me do a screen share there. For everybody that wants to participate in the weekend, you can grab an autograph. You can book a hangout with Jason. Hang out and talk, whatever you want. So there we go. There's Anaris, there's Lindsay, there you are, Megan, Bill, and Tara. Everybody's page stays up until Saturday at 7 p.m. or 11 p.m. Pacific. It'll stay up. So definitely, if you want to hang out, ask Jason your own questions. Then the page will be up there to do it. So definitely, Jason, what a pleasure, my dude.
Dude, thank you so much, man, and good luck in all of your color worlding all around the world.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. Hope to do it again, online and live, as soon as we can.
Yep, and then I'm gonna so Kyle, I just dropped a link in there. You just click on Jason's picture and then pick however long you want to hang out with Jason, and then we'll make sure everybody has a great time. So, really,
gotta catch them all, color world.
Okay, you guys all catch them all, and then I'm gonna go be friends with Jason so we can trade some cool stuff back and forth, and one of these days we can meet. And I would love to get a lucky Pokemon, Jason, that I'll then name after you.
We'll
just trade a bunch of water Pokemon until it works.
Absolutely.